Welcome the rare gems. Here's the truth. Being a Sigma female means living in a world that doesn't fully know what to do with you. You're not interested in the spotlight, you're not looking for validation, and you don't follow the usual scripts. Society, with its loud opinions and rigid expectations, often tries to label you as distant, difficult, or even too independent. But the reality is, you've figured out something most people haven't. You don't need the noise to thrive. However, navigating life as a Sigma female isn't always straightforward. The quiet strength and fierce independence you rely on come with their own set of challenges. Early in life, you'll face moments where your detachment is misunderstood, your ambitions are questioned, and your refusal to conform is seen as a threat. But these are the very qualities that will make you powerful, as long as you know how to use them. This isn't about following a roadmap to success or happiness. It's about understanding the deep, unspoken truths that will help you not just survive, but thrive in a world that wasn't built for people like you. The earlier you grasp these truths, the quicker you'll carve out your own space and own it. Let's get started. Rare gems. For a deeper understanding, I encourage you to watch the video all the way through and drop your thoughts in the comments. Number 1. You can't save anyone from themselves. You'll meet people who are stuck in their own patterns of self-destruction, and no matter how much you want to, you can't save them. It's a hard lesson to learn, especially when you care deeply or see potential in someone. But here's the harsh truth. You can't fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. People can only change when they're ready, and until they choose to step out of their own cycle, anything you do is just pouring water into a broken cup. Your empathy is valuable, but it has limits. You can listen, offer support, and provide guidance, but you can't force someone to grow. Trying to carry someone else's emotional baggage will eventually break your back. You end up exhausted, drained, and frustrated, while they remain exactly where they were. Or worse, they start to depend on you to fix everything. That's not empathy. That's enabling. Know when to walk away. It's not giving up. It's recognizing that your energy is better spent on people who are willing to meet you halfway. Sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do is step back and let them face their own mess. Their growth is their responsibility, not yours. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to not get dragged down by someone else's refusal to change. Number 2, your mind will play tricks on you. Trust patterns, not feelings. Your mind is a tricky place. Feelings can seem so real and urgent in the moment, but they're often fleeting and unreliable. One day, you might feel on top of the world, and the next, you're questioning everything. That's the thing about emotions. They're influenced by so many things outside of your control, like stress, fatigue, or even the weather. If you rely on feelings to guide you, you're on shaky ground because they shift constantly. What feels like a crisis today may not even matter tomorrow. Patterns, however, are consistent. People reveal who they are, not in a single moment or emotion, but over time. If you step back and look at the bigger picture, patterns show you the truth about someone's behavior, your own habits, or the reality of a situation. While your feelings might tell you that someone deserves another chance or that this time will be different, the patterns often tell a different story. One of repeated mistakes, red flags, or cycles that keep coming back. Learning to trust patterns over emotions isn't easy because feelings scream for attention. But once you start recognizing the recurring themes in your life, you gain clarity. It helps you make smarter decisions and avoid being misled by the emotional highs and lows. When you spot a pattern, pay attention to it. It's where the real truth lies, far beyond the temporary emotions that try to cloud your judgment. Number 3, people don't want you to grow. They want you to stay predictable. When you start to grow and evolve, you'll notice something surprising. People around you may not like it. At first, it's confusing. Shouldn't they be happy for you? But the truth is, most people don't want you to change because it makes them uncomfortable. They're used to a certain version of you, the one they can predict and understand. Your growth challenges that comfort. It shakes up the dynamic they've relied on, and suddenly they can't put you in the same box anymore. When you break out of those familiar patterns, it threatens the balance. People might start questioning you, doubting your decisions, or even subtly trying to undermine your progress. They might say things like, "You've changed," as if it's a bad thing, or they might try to pull you back into old habits and roles. Why? Because your evolution forces them to confront their own stagnation. They can no longer predict your moves, and that unpredictability makes them uneasy. But that's not your problem. You're not here to make others comfortable. Growth is about shedding old skin and stepping into who you're meant to be, not about staying the same to keep everyone around you happy. So, when people try to pull you back, resist. Break those chains unapologetically. Keep growing, keep evolving, and let them deal with their discomfort. Your journey is yours, and the people who truly support you will grow with you, not try to hold you back. Thank you, Rare Gems, for being a valued subscriber. Your continued support is incredibly important to us and inspires us to keep producing meaningful content. We truly appreciate your engagement and support. Number 4, expect betrayal. It's inevitable. Betrayal is one of those harsh realities of life that people don't like to talk about, but it's unavoidable. No matter how close someone is to you, no matter how deep the bond, betrayal is always a possibility. It's not because people are inherently bad. It's because at some point your growth, success, or independence will make someone uncomfortable. When your presence starts to disrupt their comfort or threaten their security, that's when betrayal often shows up. It could be a friend, a partner, a colleague, someone who, when faced with their own insecurities or fears, turns on you to protect themselves. The truth is, people act in their own interest more often than we'd like to believe. So when betrayal happens, don't be surprised. It's not about if, but when. People's loyalty is often tied to how comfortable they are in the relationship, and when that comfort is shaken, their actions can change in ways you don't expect. The key is to be prepared, not paranoid, but aware. Know that even the people closest to you can choose themselves over you when they feel threatened or insecure. This isn't about losing trust in everyone. It's about understanding human nature. Betrayal will come in some form at some point from someone you least expect. But instead of letting it break you, use it as a reminder to always be anchored in yourself. Be prepared for it, deal with it, and move forward without letting it make you bitter. Number 5. You can't win every battle, so learn to choose which wars matter. You can't fight every battle and come out unscathed. It's exhausting, and frankly, it's not worth it. The world is full of small annoyances, challenges, and insults. And if you try to tackle every single one, you'll burn yourself out. Some people thrive on drama and conflict, but that's a waste of energy. The key to maintaining your sanity and focus is knowing when to engage and when to let things go. Not every slight or injustice deserves your time or effort. Some things are petty, born out of someone's insecurity or their desire to drag you down to their level. Engaging with those distractions only pulls you into a cycle of meaningless conflict. And when you're constantly fighting the small stuff, you lose sight of the bigger picture, what really matters. Instead, be strategic. Save your energy for the wars that count. Focus on the battles that, when won, actually move you forward, that build your life, your career, your relationships. Let the rest go. This isn't about being passive or avoiding confrontation. It's about being smart. Pick your battles with purpose. When you know what truly deserves your attention, you won't waste time on things that don't. The people who get bogged down by every little fight stay stuck in mediocrity. You're aiming higher. So let them have their petty skirmishes while you focus on the wars that actually matter and win those. That's where real strength and progress lie. Number 6. Your worst days will be the ones that shape you the most. Your worst days, the ones that feel impossible to get through, are the ones that will shape you in ways that nothing else can. People often chase happiness, thinking it's the ultimate goal, but happiness is fleeting. It's not a permanent state. What really matters, what will truly change you, are the experiences you go through, especially the hard ones. Those moments when everything seems to fall apart, when you feel like you're at rock bottom, are where the real growth happens. It's in these dark times that you learn the most about yourself. You figure out what you're made of, what you can handle, and how resilient you really are. You start to see that life isn't about avoiding pain or discomfort, but about moving through it without losing your sense of who you are. It's easy to feel strong when everything is going well, but real strength is built in the struggle. Instead of fearing those bad days, embrace them as part of the process. They're uncomfortable, yes, but they're also necessary. Every setback, every challenge, every failure is an opportunity to learn, to get better, and to refine yourself. You don't grow by avoiding hardship. You grow by pushing through it and coming out the other side stronger and wiser. What sets you apart isn't the easy moments. It's your ability to face the worst days head-on without losing your core. That's where your true power comes from, and that's what will shape you into someone unbreakable. Number 7. You will never be fully understood. Get comfortable with that. You'll never be fully understood, and that's something you need to accept early on. No matter how clearly you express yourself, no matter how much you try to explain your thoughts, feelings, or choices, people will still only see you through their own filters. They'll project their own experiences, biases, and assumptions onto you. It's frustrating, but it's the truth. You can't make someone fully see you the way you see yourself. Trying to get everyone to understand you is a losing game. It will drain you, leaving you frustrated and constantly second-guessing your choices. You'll find yourself molding to fit into their idea of who you should be, just to avoid the discomfort of standing alone. But the reality is, even the people closest to you, your family, your friends, won't completely get who you are at your core. And that's okay. Once you stop seeking total understanding, you'll find a sense of peace. You'll realize that you don't need validation from others to confirm who you are. Being comfortable with standing alone, even in rooms full of people who think they know you, is a form of strength. It frees you from the pressure of constantly explaining yourself. It allows you to live authentically without needing to be figured out by anyone. The truth is, the only person who truly needs to understand you is you. The rest is just noise. So, embrace the fact that you'll often be misunderstood. It's part of the journey, and it's perfectly fine. Number 8. No one is truly self-made, but you can be self-forged. No one gets anywhere completely on their own. There are always people who help along the way, whether it's family, mentors, or even strangers who gave you a break when you needed it most. But being self-made is a bit of a myth. The real power comes not from the idea that you did everything alone, but from recognizing how you chose to shape yourself from the circumstances and opportunities life gave you. You didn't have control over the hand you were dealt, but you did have control over what you did with it. That's what it means to be self-forged. It's about taking the raw material, both the good and the bad, and deciding what you're going to make out of it. You've had help, sure, but you're the one who has taken those experiences, lessons, and even hardships and molded them into something strong, something uniquely your own. Self-forging also means knowing the difference between those who genuinely supported you and those who tried to control or limit you. Some people may have given you advice that didn't serve you or tried to steer you in a direction that wasn't right for you. The strength in self-forging lies in knowing when to accept help and when to break away to forge your own path, even if it means going against the grain. Ultimately, it's your decisions, your resilience, and your ability to take life's challenges and hammer them into something meaningful that define who you are. You weren't made by anyone else. You were shaped by your own hands. Number 9. The world will never make sense. Stop trying to understand it. The world is chaotic, and if you spend too much time trying to make sense of it, you'll drive yourself mad. People are unpredictable. Their actions often don't follow any logical pattern, and trying to understand why they do what they do is like chasing smoke. You'll never fully grasp it because human behavior is messy, inconsistent, and shaped by countless invisible factors: fear, insecurity, impulse, ego. Expecting the world to act rationally or for people to always make sense is a recipe for constant frustration. The moment you let go of this need for everything to fit into a neat, logical box, you'll find a kind of freedom. You'll stop being paralyzed by the nonsense, the double standards, and the hypocrisy that's all around you. Instead of wasting energy trying to figure out why someone betrayed you, lied to you, or made a decision that seems absurd, you can just move forward. You'll realize that most of the time, there is no deeper meaning behind someone's actions. They're just reacting to their own chaos. Once you accept that life won't always make sense, you become more adaptable, more resilient. You stop taking things so personally and you start focusing on what you can control, your own actions, your own mindset. You stop expecting people to be rational and start dealing with things as they are, not how you think they should be. In doing so, you'll find more peace in a world that's never going to give you the clarity you once hoped for. Number 10. Never apologize for ambition, but don't broadcast it either. Ambition is often misunderstood. People either expect you to downplay it or flaunt it for attention. But real ambition doesn't need an audience. It's not about making loud declarations or telling everyone your plans. The most powerful moves are made in silence, without anyone knowing what you're working on until it's already done. When you quietly pursue your goals with focus and determination, you bypass the distractions that come with seeking approval or recognition. There's no need to apologize for your ambition. Wanting more for yourself, pushing beyond the limits others have set for you is nothing to be ashamed of. But broadcasting it can attract unnecessary noise, doubt, competition, or even sabotage. People are quick to judge, and not everyone will support your drive. Some will feel threatened by it, others will try to steer you off course, and a few might try to capitalize on it for their own gain. When you keep your ambition to yourself, you maintain control. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone or seek validation. You're free to pivot, adjust, and grow without the weight of others' expectations. Quiet ambition is powerful because it lets your results speak for themselves. The element of surprise is one of your greatest assets. When you move without broadcasting, people won't see you coming until it's too late. So embrace your ambition fully, but carry it with confidence, not noise. The most impactful actions often happen in the shadows, without the need for applause. Number 11. People will try to diminish your confidence. Weaponize it. When people see that you're confident and self-sufficient, it triggers something in them, often insecurity or jealousy. They'll try to undermine your confidence, make you question yourself, or convince you that you need to tone it down. They'll frame it as advice, suggest you're being arrogant, or claim they're only trying to keep you grounded. But let's be honest, it's not your confidence that's the problem. It's their discomfort with it. Confidence is powerful, and people tend to fear what they can't control. The more self-assured you are, the more unpredictable you become to others, and that unsettles them. Instead of shrinking yourself to fit their comfort zones, recognize that their attempts to diminish your confidence are rooted in fear. That's the key. They only attack what they feel threatened by. Your confidence is a threat to the status quo, to their sense of control, or to their fragile egos. So, don't fall into the trap of false humility. Confidence doesn't need to be hidden or downplayed to make others feel comfortable. Instead, use it as a weapon. Own your strengths unapologetically. When people try to diminish you, let their words be a reminder of how powerful your presence is. Weaponize your confidence by standing taller, being more vocal about your worth, and pursuing your goals even harder. The more they try to downplay it, the more you should embrace it. After all, no one tries to tear down something they don't see as a threat. Additional point. Happiness is overrated. Freedom is the real goal. Happiness is often sold to us as the ultimate goal, but chasing it is like chasing a mirage. The more you pursue it, the further it slips away. Society tells you to seek happiness through a checklist. Get the job, the house, the relationship, and you'll be happy. But what they don't tell you is that this pursuit is designed to keep you in line, to make sure you stay on a path that benefits others more than it does you. Happiness, in the way it's marketed, is a trap. The real goal should be freedom. Freedom to make decisions without worrying about what others think. Freedom to walk away from situations that don't serve you. Freedom to live by your own values and not be confined by societal expectations. Happiness, after all, is fleeting. It's an emotion, one that comes and goes based on circumstances. Freedom, on the other hand, is a state of being. It's long-lasting. When you have freedom, You're not constantly chasing the next high or the next source of validation. You're content with living life on your own terms, even if it doesn't always look happy to others. The pursuit of freedom often requires sacrifice. You might have to give up certain comforts or temporary pleasures, but what you gain in return is priceless. You get the ability to carve out your own path, to make choices based on what you truly want, not what you're told to want. In the end, that's worth far more than fleeting happiness. Navigating life as a Sigma female is about understanding your unique strengths and embracing your individuality. The world isn't always set up for those who march to their own beat, but that's exactly what makes you powerful. You have the ability to carve your own path, even if it means standing apart from the crowd. This journey won't always be easy, and you may face challenges that others don't, but it's these very challenges that will shape you into someone truly remarkable. Embrace your independence and trust in your instincts. You don't need to conform to societal expectations or seek validation from others. Instead, focus on building your own definition of success and happiness, and don't shy away from the hard lessons that come your way. Understand that not everyone will get you, and that's perfectly fine. Your worth isn't tied to others' opinions. In the end, your journey is yours alone. Celebrate your ambition, embrace your solitude, and recognize that your power lies in your ability to rise above. You are not just surviving. You are thriving in a world that often tries to put you in a box. Trust in your process, and remember that the most impactful journeys often start with a single, courageous step into the unknown. Be unapologetically you, and watch how you inspire others along the way. Thank you, Rare Gems, for tuning in. Stay vigilant as always. See you in our next video. God bless you.